Hi, my name's Kim. I'm an East Asian medical provider and Taoist practitioner. And I've been doing this series on treadmill therapy based on that January study done in Nature that said, hey, if you are experiencing vax injury or long COVID and you find that after you exercise you get this post-exercise fatigue, well, maybe if you do a slow workout, that might help improve your situation. And so I did it, I tried it out, and what I found is that that didn't work for me. So if you saw when I hiked into the mountains, something went really sideways. And then what happened the next day when I got home, I just had this massive crash. I mean, just such a serious crash. I've never crashed that hard before. I did the next episode which told you everything that I was doing based on the research that I found. Here's the next thing is I actually found more research on why that might be happening, why I had such a hard crash later on. And then I wanted to also talk to you a little bit about the vitamin B, because I really appreciate you guys encouraging me to try vitamin B again. And then I wanted to share with you, since acupuncturists are on this, I wanted to share with you, there was another acupuncturist that shared a treatment for people who are having a hard time uptaking vitamin B. So those are the three things that I want to share with you. I'm outside because this is like the first day in like 12 days that we haven't had pouring rain, and I think the rain, the pollen, two things that have made allergies hideous this year here, but I finally have some time where I can be outside, so I'm going to enjoy that. Okay, so the first thing was why might some people get better with slow exercise and then some people have this epic crash? And so there's research, it was done out of Germany. The person separated the people into those who had a crash when they were exercising, and a crash where like either their heartbeat got really high or some other part of the autonomic nervous system, the nervous system that we don't have control over, something went out of whack when they were exercising. And then there's a second group, and the second group, what happens is they might have issues during exercise, but the next day or later, or just sometime later, they actually get a lot worse. And so the first group, where something with their autonomic nervous system, those things that we don't control, they call that dysautonomia. And then the second group, they call that MECFS, something like myoencephalitis chronic fatigue syndrome. And that is really severe. Okay, so what they found with these two different types of symptoms is the dysautonomia. They actually thought that slow exercise might be good for you, might make things better, because they thought that your system, your autonomic system, it's just a little bit out of kink, and you could do something like slow exercise and it would help trip it back into working again. And then there's a second group, the MECFS group, and what happens for them is they might have problems while exercising, but later, after they're done exercising, it gets worse. And what they think there is that the mitochondria, that you're not making enough energy to repair your body. And they think that you're having some sort of active infection still going on that is overwhelming your body. And so they actually kind of use this term where your mitochondria go to sleep. That makes a lot of sense for me because the last crash was hideous. It was really overwhelming, and it just really seemed like I was overtaxing my system. Now, from a Chinese medical, from an East Asian medical perspective, that was suggestive of a deficiency, and particularly a yang deficiency. And so I think a couple things is that I really think that by taking those kidney yang herbs, I did specific formulas, and for me, I did a really strong kidney yang formula, and that seemed to really over kickstart my body and kick it into doing a hideous detox, and then also doing the herbal formulas to move the blood. So I've been doing those for, I don't know, a couple weeks now. I do feel a lot better. I can still feel the stuff in my lungs. Sorry about that. I can still feel the stuff in my lungs. And, you know, I'm outside. I've been having a problem with pollen and mold, so I can start to feel, I've been out for a while, so I can start to feel it in my throat. And, but I think that by understanding those two different presentations, you might be able to better control or manage how you go forward. It is really nice out here. So the other thing I wanted to talk about was vitamin B, because I had stopped taking vitamin B because I was having a hard time with it. And you know, one of the things they say with that MECFS is that those individuals, because they don't have the energy to do a lot, they actually don't think they even have the energy to uptake supplements, which is why the supplements don't work for some of these people. And I think that's what I ran into with the vitamin B. I forget what the symptoms were. I just knew I wasn't uptaking it and it was making me feel worse. So I'd stopped taking it. And I think, you know, when I did that hideous detox and when I started supporting kidney yang, I think that helped kickstart or reawaken that mitochondria or those cells that had gone to sleep. And it started allowing them to be able to better process things. So, you know, in my last episode, there's a number of comments that, you know, hey, maybe do vitamin B, try that, it worked for me. And I thought, well, okay, you guys weren't the first ones to say that. I think within the last 2-3 weeks, probably 5 people had said, you know, hey, try vitamin B. And I was thinking, you know, there is no coincidence. So my thoughts are, you know, there is no coincidences. And I thought, maybe I need to start trying vitamin B again. So I did. I can take it. My uptake is still really poor, but I can take it. So I split it up throughout the day. So I take multiple doses throughout the day, and that seems to be helping with my overall energy. And, you know, we just need vitamin B for so many functions in our body. We were talking about this, you know, what could be causing the problem with vitamin B uptake. So, you know, in the small intestine is where we uptake our vitamin B12. And I was really thinking that it was B12 that I was having the biggest problem with. The intrinsic factor in the small intestine is what uptakes your vitamin B12. Well, if you look at the vaccines with their spike protein, what they do is each one of those lipid nanoparticles, you know, bursts spike protein. And in the small intestine, we actually have a lot of ACE2 receptors, and the spike protein loves attaching to ACE2 receptors. So I think that might be part of the reason why you start seeing digestive issues becoming so much worse after the vaccines, and why some people might be having a lot of problems processing vitamin B after the vaccines. Either way, I think that, you know, doing the kidney yang formulas, doing yang treatments in clinic seems to have helped. And this is like the first time in over a year since I've been managing this, or since I've been watching this, that I can actually uptake of vitamin B. So thanks for recommending it. And, you know, all I can say is just keep on going. You know, the last thing I want to do is I want to share with you a treatment, and if I can find the acupuncturist name who shared this, I mean, he was just really gracious to share this with everybody. But he had been trying a treatment in clinic that he found to be really helpful with people who are having a hard time uptaking vitamin B. And so I want to share that with you because I know there's some acupuncturists here in this forum, and it might be something you want to try in clinic. So it's 5 points. So the first point is CV9, and then you do surround the dragon around CV9. The point, you don't go into CV8. You actually, when you're surrounding the dragon, the top or the point right below CV9 is at the rim, at the upper rim of the navel. And then there's a last point that goes directly below to the lower rim of the navel, not into CV8, but to the lower rim, and that's the 5 points. So being that I was having a hard time with vitamin Bs, I thought, what the heck, let me try this. You don't have anything to lose anymore, right? Western medicine doesn't have any solutions, or if they do, their solutions have these repercussions. And what I'm finding is that there's a lot of solutions with alternative medicines, and there's a ton of solutions in East Asian medicine. So I tried this treatment, and I started with those 5 points, and I let them sit for like 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes. And then I just followed the energy, because you know how you can either follow the energy through the pulses or through the body. Where does it get stuck? Where does it get blocked? And I added in needles as it got stuck in different areas. And I gotta say, the treatment was really relaxing and really refreshing. It was amazingly relaxing. And then I did get borigamas, you know, where you hear the small intestine moving. And I thought, wow, okay, well, that's interesting, because that's where I think our biggest vitamin B problem is. And I could be wrong, who knows, right? So I've tried that a couple times. It changes each time. The energy moves in different ways each time. So, but I can tell you each time it's like a huge release, and it's been really relaxing. So that might be a treatment that you want to try in your clinic. Okay, you guys, if you have any other ideas, you know, feel free to put them in the comments below and share them. It's your last input was really, really helpful. Okay, until next time, I'll catch you on the other side.